Well, hey guys, today we're back at the state line, and I've got one more state line club that I want to show you today and tell you a few stories about it. Let's go have a look at the White Iris. In June of 1962, Sheriff Dickey was just across the highway there, visiting with Louise Hathcock to tell her he had just served papers on Jack. McNairy County Commissioners had just issued papers on Jack's House of Suds and the Rainbow Room to be condemned for structural issues. Louise was ecstatic over that information. She thought this would give her one up on Jack. Well, it seems that Jack was unfazed by the court orders. He began tearing them both down to comply without any complaining at all. Just as soon as the site of Jack's House of Suds was clear, he began new construction on the old foundation. We're going to make our way on up the hill here to see just what it was Jack was building. Louise, of course, was furious. She wanted to stay ahead of Jack. While they were still sort of business partners, they were really competitors, especially since their divorce. Louise arranged a meeting with Jack, and I believe she probably just asked him straight up, "What are you building?" He would have told her, "I'm building a new club, and I'm going to call it Jack's Place. And I'm going to run it myself this time." Jack's Place opened in April of 1963. And according to one article I read, Jack didn't even have a beer license. Jack hired a young girl named Iris White. She was just barely 18, but she was also the daughter of an attorney from Hardin County, Tennessee. Apparently, Iris knew how to cultivate business, you might say, because she wore short shorts and halter tops. And I'm guessing Jack should have known that eventually this girl would fall for him. And fall for him she did. Even though Jack wanted to keep things professional, Iris knew how to get what she wanted as well. Time after time, she let Jack know that she wanted more than just a job and a little playtime around the restaurant. Soon the two of them were all caught up in an affair. In March of 1964, the Jack's Place sign was taken down off of the building we're looking at now, and a new sign went up. It said White Iris. Now, Louise knew Jack and Iris were having an affair, but this was simply too much for her. She came flying into the parking lot and went stomping into the club through the front door we're walking toward now. Louise didn't really care about getting Jack back. She just had to make sure she could stay ahead of him in the game of business they were involved in. She was there to fight for her money and power. And Jack, of course, was making his statement in a very upfront sort of way. As I said, Louise stormed in this very door and took part in one of the biggest catfights ever seen around here. I imagine that cursing and plates and chairs and beer mugs and hair and just anything that could fly around this room did. Iris slung Louise across the floor and held her wig up for everybody to see. Iris then pushed Louise out the door we're looking through and threw out her wig behind her. Louise probably limped back to her Cadillac and spun off. I'm guessing Jack was a little bit flattered at having the women fight over him, and Iris probably thought she had won. But Louise discovered that Iris White's father was a prominent Hardin County attorney, and I'm sure she called him herself to tell him that his daughter was having an affair with the 43-year-old club owner. Dad, the attorney, called his friend, the judge, and the White Iris was denied a food license and a beer license, and of course this meant it might have to close. Jack, of course, ended his relationship with Iris and became quite annoyed with Louise. He didn't know that Louise was already beginning to plan making a final break with him, which happened on May 22nd, 1964, when he was killed. Well, I hope you've enjoyed looking at the old White Iris today and learning a little state line history. Thank you.